Hello everyone, how's it going? Remember to like and sub, trying to reach the 2K. So Tomb Raider, a very notorious and legendary IP that is beloved by millions of people around the world. This franchise has never really reached its peak or gone beyond it since its reveal, but it's always kind of hovered between, a decent degree of fans wanting new games and new things from this IP, and they've more or less delivered. A lot of people do love this franchise, as we can see from the remastered versions of the first three games. Never played these games, but they are beloved, and a lot of people did like these remasters, despite the controversy with them removing certain assets. I don't know if they re-added them, but it seemed like there was controversy about this. And then the rebooted games, such as the rebooted trilogy, which I personally did play and I really liked. It did have issues. I wasn't a fan of Jonah, but it had its ups and downs. It was a great action adventure game, and yeah, she's always had her ups and downs, but Laura's never really gone away. She's an iconic figure. Now, she has tried to dive into other mediums such as movies, and those movies weren't exactly well known, such as we had the one with Angelina Jolie, which, let's face it, people only watch this to see Angelina Jolie because she's an attractive woman. And then we also had the rebooted film, which also didn't do well, which was basically a very watered down version of the rebooted video game. I saw this movie in films after everyone kept telling me it was the greatest thing they ever seen, one of the best video game movies of all time. And I literally just kept thinking to myself, the game did the same story better in every way. Like, it was so bad. Like, I didn't like it at all, but all to their own. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But the reason people are concerned right now with the future of Tomb Raider is a lot of things. The biggest one is that, well, Amazon has ordered a brand new live-action TV series, and Amazon has kind of been wishy-washy with their live actions. We saw with Lord of the Rings, with the the Galadriel TV series that has just been panned to hell. I saw one episode of that, and I was just like, this is trash. And then, of course, we had Fallout, which was absolutely exceptional. A lot of people loved it. I loved it. And it also doesn't help that the fact that Crystal Dynamics greenlit this Tomb Raider tabletop RPG game that said this: Raiden, as depicted in the original Tomb Raider games and stories, involves going to ancient tombs and historical sites on different civilizations and acquiring artifacts. It operates on the assumption of finders keepers that grants raiders, which the means and the drive to claim ownership of artifacts regardless of whether they have any historical or cultural claim to that treasure. Now, that just sounds like poor man's summary of the Black Panther movie, but of course this was greenlit by Crystal Dynamics, which gave a lot of people, a lot of worry about the future of this franchise, because the whole point of Laura is going to mythological areas that people have thought that have been completely hidden by time or never existed in the first place, and trying to discover these locations in hope of finding the truth about these items, either to get these dangerous items to make sure other people can't get their hands on them, especially dangerous organizations like Trinity in the rebooted series. I'm not sure if the original games also had dangerous figures, but definitely that was one of the primary goals of Lara Croft, to make sure that these very powerful, lethal people don't get their hands on these dangerous artifacts. So yeah, that has been very alarming for a lot of people about the future of this franchise. But we'll read this and you'll see what I mean about people being concerned about this. Prime Video announced today that it has ordered a Tomb Raider series with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Fleabag said as writer and executive producer. Fleabag was a popular drama series on Amazon Prime. Apparently, they stopped the series after 2 seasons, despite it being popular. I can respect that. Like, we've seen what happened with Supernatural and Simpsons. Like, dear God. The project comes as part of a deal between Crystal Dynamics and Amazon MGM Studios, originating through DJ2's First Look, would deal with the studio to develop additional Tomb Raider stories in streaming and film. Tomb Raider will premiere exclusively on Prime Video in more than 240 countries and territories worldwide. Prime has all your entertainment and streaming needs in a single membership. That's just PR speak. But yeah, we've seen, like, the examples I've given, that Tomb Raider hasn't exactly been really good when it came to movies, and I don't know exactly how they're going to execute this for a TV show, but we'll see. Crystal Dynamics and Amazon Game have previously announced a collaboration to develop and publish a new multi-platform Tomb Raider game. The as yet untitled game is a single-player narrative-driven action-adventure that is an all-new next chapter to Lara Croft's legendary explorations in the Tomb Raider franchise, which people are also concerned because, this. If I could tell my teenage self that this was happening, I think she would explode. Tomb Raider has been a huge part of my life, and I feel incredibly privileged to be bringing it to television with such a passionate collaborators. Lara has mean a lot to me, as she does to many, and I can't wait to go on this adventure, bats and all, said Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Now, this just comes off as an extremely PR statement. It's like any legendary IP like Star Wars. People say, I've been a fan of Star Wars since I was a kid. I am incredibly into Star Wars, and they just, stuff like that, basically. I'm so happy to announce that we have ordered an epic globetrotting series, Tomb Raider, from the incredibly gifted Emmy Award winner Phoebe Waller-Bridge and the team at Crystal Dynamics, said Jennifer Steik, head of Amazon MGM Studios. Fans and newcomers can look forward to exhilarating adventures that will honor the legacy of this iconic character. Again, this is concerning, considering that this game was greenlit with the tabletop situation, so yeah, we'll see if they honor the legacy of this franchise. Amazon Game Studios, and this is just PR statement, basically saying that they have a lot of reach, resources, etc. You can see it right here. It's another PR statement. So yeah, a lot of people are concerned about this. So the biggest thing here is Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Now, she's not exactly a popular person, and based on my research, the number one reason that people don't like her is because of this movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, this film, I have no idea, has a 70% and 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, but then again, this site is known for deleting reviews and just, producing reviews that aren't exactly truthful. Look at what happened with Captain Marvel and The Last Jedi. I mean, they were trying to see what was working and what wasn't, I guess, but regardless, Rotten Tomatoes has a history of deleting reviews, and in this case, this film wasn't good. Like, I saw the Wikipedia summary, I saw the reviews on YouTube. 2 of my family members watched this movie, and they told me they walked out on this. So, not exactly a good film, a really bad film. And the number one thing that people didn't like about this was basically they Last Jedi'd Harrison Ford's character, Indiana Jones. They made him to a sad, pitiful man with no connections whatsoever, basically waiting for death. And then Phoebe Waller-Bridge, similar to Shia LaBeouf, was supposed to take over as the new Indiana Jones. But whereas Shia LaBeouf's character had to prove himself and show that he can take up the reins and try and become that character, here it's just shown that Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is basically, she's a Jedi. She's Rey incarnate, only much more snippier and with a personality. But that's not saying much. But yeah, basically they just Last Jedi'd Indiana Jones in this film, and it was not well received. And despite these positive reviews, the movie was a huge flop, losing over $100 million. So, I mean, if I haven't found something, and there is something for a reason why people don't like this woman, please let me know in the comments below. But as far as I can tell, it is because of that movie being one of the predominant examples of that. I have seen a lot of people talking about the show Fleabag and that being an issue with that. But as far as I can tell, it's just, between whether you like it or not. People have varying taste when it comes to these types of shows. But when it comes to Tomb Raider, as I stated, a lot of people do want to see this game and franchise revived. They do want to see more Tomb Raider and more Lara Croft. Even though she's never reached the peak as when she first launched, she still teetered on the, above water. She's gone above water, and she has shown that she still has a lot of life and things to give. Like, the new rebooted series still has very positive ratings from a lot of people. And I do recommend that you give it a shot. Like, you can literally buy the entire rebooted franchise for about $20 right now. I don't know if this includes the entire DLC, but I do highly recommend them, especially Rise of the Tomb Raider if you want action adventure. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm still going to wait until the series comes out because I had reservations about the Fallout show, and that blew every expectations I had, so this could be good. But then again, we all saw what happened with Lord of the Rings and how much money they poured into that series, and it turned out to be true garbage. So it can go either way. I think that's one of the more scary parts, that it's really a flip of the coin. And I think if this series does, do well, a lot of people will probably remember Miss Waller for more positive things than, you know, the Indiana Jones films. Again, I'm not really sure why she's hated so much based on the Twitter replies. In fact, I'll show them right now. Here it is. So you can see here, count me in, but then you have people who don't want Phoebe into this film, so it's a little just like, I don't know, like I just can't find why people really hate her. But tell me again if there's something I'm missing. Like I can't, it's because every piece of research I've found about it is basically people just hating on her for varying opinions based on her work and what she's produced rather than, you know, her as a person, like say Brie Larson, who has a notorious history of just being unlikable. But tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinion. Like, dislike, your choice. Bye.